Hi guys, I'm Nina, you're the intro Bang Hipster Darlings, and today we're going to talk about Hard 8 for Source Fed Nerd Movie Club. This movie stars John C. Reilly and Gwyneth Paltrow and Samuel L. Jackson, along with someone I don't know. And it's directed by P.T. Anderson, and it's a really, visually really pretty film. It's so fantastically filmed, and it's broken down into 3 acts. This is fairly normal for a film. That's a really good way to bring it all together. But the acts are divided with Sydney and John, Sydney and Clementine, and Sydney and Jimmy. And we see kind of the downfall of Sydney. At the beginning of the film, we see Sydney as this benign person who's just picking up a person off the streets and giving him a life. And then with Clementine, we see his rage, and we see how quickly he can turn on people, and how his emotions get the better of him. And then with Sydney and Jimmy, we see him kill a man, with the discussions of him killing another person. And this is a really interesting film because Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it as well for 3 minutes. But it's so good because he's not a Vegas mobster, but he is a very scary dude who likes to gamble a lot. And there's lots of really cool things about this film that I don't really want to get into because they're super spoilery, and this is kind of a film that you don't want spoiled. This was P.T. Anderson's first film, and there are times when you can see that the direction is slowing down and it's not perfect. But it is so good. It is so good because the cinematography is beautiful and the actors do a really good job. I'm pretty sure that P.T. Anderson plucked these guys, from relative unknown status when this film was made, because it looks like it was made in the 1980s or the 1990s, but it's so good. And it's just beautiful in that slightly aged way that P.T. Anderson knows how to do. And there's so many good things about this movie. I didn't know if I was going to be super into it, seeing the little synopsis that Netflix had to offer about it, because it kind of felt like Lock, Stock, and Barrels. Maybe it would be really just slow in pacing, and at times there were times when it could have been better paced, but they definitely chose the right moment to come in on. Now, one thing that I'm sort of confused by is why the big secret at the end mattered. Because you hear that John's mom has died, and at the very end you realize why that was sort of a big deal. But I don't understand what the connection there was. If he intended to pick John up off the streets, or if it was just luck of the draw. It was just a really interesting film. Gwyneth Paltrow in this was great as Clementine. Whoever did her bruise makeup did a really good job. But yeah, it was a really interesting film about, the way dynamics work and how things come together, and, how luck would have you believe things are true. I think this is definitely one for a second watch, because there are things I still don't quite understand about it. And normally I'm pretty good on the uptake, but there are still things in this movie I don't understand about why certain things are so important. There is a really great kind of foreshadowing bit where Sydney is talking to Jimmy, and he's talking about, you know, I'm not asking you to give me clemency. Well, this is obviously a direct allusion to the fact that Clementine is in the movie, and I don't think that line would have been, like, I don't think that was I don't think it was a coincidence that that line was there, especially given the fact that he named her Clementine for a very specific reason. But it's so good, and it's so layered, and the characters are so incredibly complex, and I love that. And it's not a terribly long film. It's an hour and 45 minutes, so if you have a chance to watch this film, please see it, because it's good. It is a little bit slow at times. That is definitely what I'm gonna say, but so good. Like, everything about it, so good. And Samuel L. Jackson plays basically Samuel L. Jackson in this film. So if there isn't a Samuel L. Jackson film that you haven't seen, and this is it, please see it, because you'll just get a kick out of his character. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts to say on this film. Other than gambling mobsters are fucking crazy. Do you ever gamble is the question that I'm going to pose to you. Leave that down in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time. Until I see you next. Bye, guys.